Hey guys, and welcome back to Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes, where midlife gets real, real, real. So today on TVHF, we are joined by the incredible, better known as Crazyrio, and the beautiful Riona Maharaj, a content creator, entrepreneur, mother, and digital storyteller. Riona has built a powerful brand rooted in authenticity, lifestyle, travel, business, and motherhood. From working with major brands to building spaces where women feel seen and inspired, she continues to show what it means to live intentionally while balancing ambition, family, and personal growth. In this episode, we dive beyond the content and into the women behind the platform, the highs, the sacrifices, the lessons, and the reality of building a life that aligns with who you truly are. So, welcome, Riona. Welcome to TBHF. And I think, firstly and most importantly, thank you for having us in your home. We so appreciate that. And I mean, we've bombarded you early this morning. So, thank you so much.
Hi, how are you? Welcome. I'm happy to have you here.
Lovely, lovely. So let's dive into it. I feel like we've already been full on in conversation for like the past, I don't know how many minutes. But yeah, tell us more about Riona. Riona, the brand, Crazyrio, the brand. Yeah. How did we get to that point?
So, Crazyrio started in 2017.
Okay.
It was a WordPress account. It was very simple. I wanted to share a personal experience that I went through publicly to help other people in that situation ease their journey.
Yes.
And I didn't think much of it. I wrote out my blog post. It was, I think, 1 or 2 in the morning. And I hovered over that share button.
Yeah.
And until I didn't. I did. And then I went to bed and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next morning and there was so much
Yeah.
of activity
Yeah.
going on. It's like my phone literally blew up.
Wow.
And I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I had messages from people all over the world to say like, I've been through this and I've been through this. Thank you for sharing. And in that moment, I realized that, we come from the mindset where, you keep everything in and you don't share. It's not nice to share. Other people don't need to know your story.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I realized the power that lies within talking about things, sharing your experiences, because in that moment I also felt less alone. Like, I wasn't the first person to walk that journey and I won't be the last.
Yeah.
And if my words could help heal somebody else, then I have purpose.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And then at that point I was on a weight loss journey, like as a woman normally.
Oh yeah, we constantly on one.
I think I was around 34,
Yeah.
33, 34 then. So I had my babies and I was like, I want to get back in shape. I want to do this for myself.
Yes.
And I shared that. And I think always the fitness weight loss thing is always relatable.
Yeah.
Even if you're not on a diet, you want to watch that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
And I did that. And I think that's where I grew my base.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I wasn't sharing my kids publicly. But then school sent those social media forms out to say, can I allow my child
onto?
And I was like, if the schools are doing it, they're older now. I'm okay to share them because it's part of my life.
Yes.
And that's when I started the whole sharing my motherhood, my lunch boxes, my snacks, and it actually makes me so sad to look back at the toddler snacks, how we moved from.
And now you've gone on to a whole different phase now.
Now it's like carbs and protein and God, like counting calories.
So you've got three daughters.
Three daughters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all of them will be teenagers this year.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, looking at the 4 of you, I swear, slotting you in there, you guys look like 4 siblings. It's just,
Well,
so you gotta tap yourself on the back there. Yeah.
Thanks. That's the heart of Crazyrio. And then I never thought of it as a career. It was just something that I started. I enjoy sharing my posts, but it's also my online digital diary.
Yeah.
So when I look back, it's like there's moments. I mean, in 2017, it's going to be 10 years next year.
Yeah.
And it's looking back in 10 years ago, I'm not the same person that
Yeah.
I am now, but also it just warms my heart. It's
Of
like they were
course.
little and we were doing this, and like, how did the time go?
I think we all just get a bit
Because when you're
taken
living
aback
it,
by that.
when you're living it, you don't realize how quickly it is.
Quickly.
And I mean, I'm a huge advocate for taking pictures and taking videos
yeah.
and stuff, because you don't realize
You can never have
quickly
enough.
and I'm guilty of not doing that for my first two,
Yeah.
but because Yuna was little in the heat of Crazyrio, I have
Yes.
so many more videos of her and so many
Yeah.
more memories that I regret not taking and
Yeah.
not sharing sooner
Yeah.
with my
I think we told when we have our first ones, oh, you must enjoy this
Yeah.
phase. It goes so quickly, but we don't honestly realize
Absolutely.
how quick it goes.
I know.
And then you fast forward when our mums at 40 or in our 40s, sitting with teenagers, and you're like, how did we get from these little rats running around to now growing into young women or young men?
And needing you for everything.
For every
and now all of a
yes.
sudden,
I think they always need. They will always need us,
but it's
whether they
also
admit it or
nice
not.
to
Yeah.
see that they, their wings. They have that. I've equipped them with the wings to fly.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they don't need me as much.
Yes.
But I'm glad that they still look for me and reach out for me.
You do speak a lot about alignment and authenticity. I know you do. You feel very strong about these two. So, was there a moment where you realized you were living for others instead of yourself? Was there ever a moment?
So, if I want to assimilate that to my life,
Yeah.
I think we brought up in a society where we are taught from a very young age to please everybody else around
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And I'm guilty of that. I think my teens, my 20s, everything was about living and pleasing everybody
Others,
else
yeah.
before yourself. And then I turned 30. And I think at that point, it was a very pinnacle point in my life. And it was my 30th birthday, to be very specific. And I woke up and I looked around and I'm like, when do I get to be me?
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm different in
Yeah.
the sense that I am not conventional. Some of my my norms are very out the box, wacky, or maybe frowned upon, but that's who I am. And when do I get to be?
Yeah.
When does
person.
that
Yeah.
side of me get to shine?
Yes.
And I started being more free with my kids, and in terms of personality, and rearing them up to be confident in being themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3 daughters. All 3 of them are very different.
I can imagine.
And
Yeah.
I would be so upset with myself later on if I had to let each one of them conform to
Societal demands.
Yes.
Societal yes.
demands.
Yes.
Instead of just being who they are. So
Absolutely.
to answer your question, I think I spent my 20s and 30s trying to please everybody else. And then when I turned 40,
the
day that you never think
yeah.
would arrive. Because it's like one of those things, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be 40. And then when I turned 40, I actually felt younger than I ever,
that light bulb goes on.
Yeah. I felt free, and I think I let go of the opinions of others and the weight of everyone else's judgment on me. People are going to judge you whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing. You might as well just live for yourself.
That's it.
And yeah. So
and it comes with a peace that is so invigorating and uplifting when you actually don't care what the next person thinks, because you are living for Riona, and this is who you are, and you are unapologetically real. And I think that comes with turning 40. It does.
Absolutely.
It's like a liberation.
Yes.
Because finally you realize, like, of course, 20s, right, motherhood and all of that, and 30s, yes, we're still raising our kids, and we also know that we want to be us. We want to not hide us anymore, but you still like slowly creep out a bit, but 40 hits. Absolutely. And then you're like, no, I am doing me. I mean, I'm raising amazing children. I'm doing what I need to do, but I'm also going to focus on me. But I think the most important thing is to not feel bad about it.
Absolutely. Well, the reality is, and we spoke off camera earlier,
yes.
You've also got 3 kids.
Yes.
In a few years, my kids are going to be out of the house, out of school, in another few years you'll be out of university. What does that leave me with?
Yes,
And
yes.
we also, like I also told you as well, it's so important to prioritize yourself and have your own tribe.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you know, a week goes by, and if I don't see my girlfriends and I don't have that girl time, I miss it, or I yearn for it.
I think that's so lovely that you touched on that, because it's so important at this phase in our lives, because we know the 40s comes with some special stuff in there, some special hormonal stuff in there that we never saw coming, but it hits. Sometimes it hits harder than, others. But how important it is to figure out, because I'm going to say your village or your tribe, right? But then it always sounds like it's big. But you realize when you get to your 40s, no, actually your tribe is like that, but it's genuine.
Yeah.
You take out all the facade and you get real.
Yes.
And even if real is 2 or 3, I mean, even 1, but that's your people, your person that's going to hold you through every trial, every tribulation, but laugh with you. As I always tell my best friend, it's like, we both know if you fall, I'm going to laugh at you of how crazy it actually looks. Then I will actually lift you up, But if you kill somebody, I'll come help you bury the body, kind of thing. So to have that, it's so important.
Yes.
And we were chatting earlier, and you said you literally have that.
Yes.
I mean,
well, my best friend moved to Johannesburg in 2008.
Right.
And so it's taken us years.
Yeah.
About a month ago, she stayed here with her husband and her kids, and I promise you, it's one of my favorite memories, like my favorite life memories. It was just such a wholesome weekend of having the kids all under one roof, having her by my side, just us connecting, playing games. It was just so wholesome, and I think it was just something that I needed to top like my heart and my head up for the year.
Yes.
Because 2026 has not been kind to me at all. It's been, I think, one of the most turbulent years emotionally. But in that moment when I had her here, it was almost like it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. And I think to have that person is so important. And I get you with that, because my best friend's also based in Johannesburg. So we don't get to see each other every weekend or every month. She's also got 3 kids. Yeah. So we know that juggle, even trying to get on the phone. But it's, even if you don't speak to each other for like a week or so, you get back on the phone and it feels like you've spoken to each other the day before. And we always have this thing of, we will bump off how we've been feeling emotionally, because we have emotional roller coasters, it's crazy. But then when you speak to your person, you realize, okay, I'm normal.
Yeah.
You're feeling the same way.
Absolutely.
You've had that day last week, and to have that confidence, it's all going to be okay.
And that's why we need our girls.
That's it.
And like I'm talking about like my best friend.
Yes.
I have so many like friends that serve different purposes to my heart and soul.
Yes.
And I need all of them.
To kind of form a committee
that keeps me sane.
Yes.
Like I had one of my other close friends. She turned 50 last week, and that was a milestone. But she's the person that I reach out to if I need to go on a spontaneous yoga retreat. She's my yes ma'am. We're going. No questions asked. I have another friend who I need her for different reasons. We need to see each other. We get up to nonsense, and they all keep me feeling young and alive, because they serve different purposes. Because we're not growing old like it was society wants us to. We are still developing in our 40s. We are still allowed to live.
Absolutely. I mean, if we go back to looking, I actually had a conversation the other day with someone with regards to going back to our parents, right, in their 40s and 50s. So if you turned 50 back in the day, you were like basically a gogo, you were a granny, it was, and 2026, 50 or 40, it's like, to me, you're in your prime, it's times have changed.
I'm a huge football fan.
Yes.
Shakira's heading the World Cup. She's got the song for the 2026 World Cup. She had the 2010 World Cup
And
And
look
now
at the
at
women.
49, she's
I mean,
rocking it.
come on, you know.
So
That's an inspiration to, I think, us all.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's like it's times have changed, and I think as we spoke about this earlier as well, like we've got to change with the times, and I think stop being a judgmental society where everything's frowned upon.
Yes,
No, we're not living in those
yes,
years or days anymore. And you've got three girls, you know. I'm sure, I mean, I've got three boys, but I want them to see it from a different set of eyes,
yes.
see life from a different set of eyes. And there's no right and wrongs to things. You've got to live, and while living, you're gonna go into some storms, you're gonna make some bad decisions. But I think you've got to know is that those bad decisions will make you stronger at the end of the day and lead you into the good decisions.
And it makes for a good story.
And absolutely, I mean, how bland would it be speaking to your grandchildren one day and going like, yeah, Granny was just to the T. This is what I did. No, I want to be the granny that tells him some really crazy stories of what you got up to, you know?
Yes.
So I think it's so important. It's so important that our generation, starts looking at things differently now and embracing it, not being stuck behind dull lenses.
Yes.
Like just go with it, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah. I feel like that's like a topic
Yes.
on its own that needs to be.
No.
And I think us coming from an Indian background, there's a lot of pressure on Indian girls. Like I've told you, we were three daughters and three sons, but the rules for the boys were so different to the girls.
Yes.
Boys could go out late at night. Boys could do this and that, and there's no question about it. No, girls, I'm sorry. And I know my mom would always use this line, but you are a girl.
Yeah.
You're a girl, and you're supposed to be a lady, and girls are supposed to be seen and not heard, and you're supposed to carry yourself in a certain way. And it's like, I'm like, gosh, they just killed our spirits from such a young age, you know? And you grow up feeling that way.
And that doesn't mean you disrespect.
Yes. I think that's the one thing that's so
You
important
can
that
still
you've
be
got.
yourself,
You can be yourself and
you
be
can still-
respectful.
yes.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're disrespecting, but you also being your own person, because reality is we are all not the same.
Yeah.
We all have different personalities. Some out there, some shy, some introverts, some extroverts, you know. But we've got to just embrace everybody and respect everybody.
And I think that's part of coming back to the fact that, you know, I'm still coming into myself in my 40s.
That's
a couple of weeks ago, in my 20s, I don't think I ever danced to anything.
Yes,
because I was
yes.
so conscious of what other people were saying. If people are looking at me, I've got two left feet.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, I went for dinner. And after dinner, I was like, I didn't have the kids. I was like, I want to go dancing.
Yeah.
And I went dancing. I was home. I was still home and in bed by 10:30.
No, that we gotta just accept that in our 40s, early bedtime works.
I'm my favorite place in the whole world.
Yes, it's the bed.
But I did it, and I went out and I danced, and I didn't care what people thought about me, and I had a fantastic time.
Oh, brilliant!
And it took me 20 years to do that.
But we don't want that now for the next generation.
No.
We don't want them waiting all those years.
No.
Be who you are now. You know
exactly. And I told you just now that I went. Our high school had the girls' high school had a moms and daughters evening, and my girls were on the dance floor from like 8 o'clock, and they were just enjoying themselves, just loving each other, and just being together. And in watching that moment, if I could, you know, replicate that, if they replicate that throughout their life, then I did something right.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely, absolutely,
just being
100%.
free and just being able to be themselves.
Yeah, no, beautiful. You're doing a brilliant job, by the way. So being out there on social media, you know, we know social media comes with its pros and cons. How have you actually dealt with all of that?
Look, I've come to a point now where, you know, before I used to obsess and, you know, I needed it to work for me.
Yes.
And, you know, otherwise I was a failure.
Yeah.
Now I don't put the same pressure on me that I put before. There's a block button, there's an unfollow button.
Okay.
If you don't resonate with the stuff that I put out there, you're free to leave. I don't need you there. Before, if somebody like, if somebody disagreed with me, and I would still want to convince them that I'm not, but I'm not a bad person.
Yes,
I want you here. Now it's okay. I've realized that not everybody can like me, and not I'm not gonna like everyone. We are all different, and that's why we find our own tribes and whatever. And the people that are there following me and cheering me on, or finding something useful in my space, I appreciate you and I'm here for you. But the people that don't, carry on, just carry on. And social media has also evolved in the sense that they've protected the privacy settings are a lot higher now. So you get your DMs, you've got the restricted content, the message requests and stuff, where you can just ignore. You can also you can up your security by putting certain words that that's picked up. Not so good with technology and that.
No, neither am I. So
so it restricts comments that are violent or insulting, and you don't need that. I don't need that.
And I think you've been out there for so long now that I'm sure it's a
you still get the special cases, but there's always going to be that one person that wants to go against the gradient.
Yes.
But you ignore and you carry on.
Because I will never understand. I mean, I've only come to explore TikTok and in like, I think the past maybe 2 years or so, because my nieces were like, and nephews were like, how can you not be on TikTok? So, and I still actually use it with my niece's account because I don't have an account. But I would go through it and I tell my husband, like, if you don't want to look at something, then just scroll on. But I'm looking at these comments and people are so mean. How are you this mean? It's social media is
like yesterday I saw something, and yesterday was the first time that I decided to comment on something because I felt really strongly about it. There was this lady who put out this video. She was in her car and she was talking to other parents, and she was like, hi, mums, please don't go to school in your pajamas. Don't embarrass your kids. Have some respect for yourself and your kids and their school and stuff. And I actually commented on that because it triggered me. Because I'm like,
course.
You don't know what the morning rush is in my house. If I want to go to
school, and get 3 kids out of the house and also doll yourself up again.
If I want to go to school in my pajamas, I'm not wearing like lingerie.
Yes.
But I will go to school.
I mean, and in our defense, in this day and age, pajamas look like tracksuits. So
absolutely.
Why not?
And I mean, I know a friend of mine. She's no longer with us, but like a couple of years ago, she used to confidently drop her kids off in her gown. And that was her signature. Not she wouldn't get out.
No, I've done it myself, not getting out of the car. But I mean
that because that's part of motherhood.
Yes.
And I don't think that's being disrespectful.
Absolutely.
And by this person putting it out there to say that, have some respect, that's you judging me. Or judging everybody else that's not conforming to your norm.
Again, as we were saying, it's about women judging each other. Why? If you would like to go to school in a drop-off with high heels, go ahead. If you'd like to be in a beanie and in a gown, go ahead.
I've done all of it. And I've done it confidently.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I always tell my kids, because I know in summer when I would do drop-offs if my husband's away, I'd go in, my shorty pajamas looks like a shorts and a t-shirt. And I would tell them, if you're being fussy, I'm jumping out to help you with your bags.
No, I have this giant David Beckham shirt.
Right.
And on the first day of our high school career, she's obviously not the same child that she was then.
Yes.
Because she's evolved with me.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, I'm coming to school in this. And she's like, no, you are not. You are not coming with this shirt. Like, please, Mom, no. And now, like, if I'm wearing that shirt,
it's like, by the way,
it doesn't even face her.
But how amazing is it?
It doesn't face her.
Because
like, that's Mom.
Yes, because also now you're creating that stigma onto a child that, no, it shouldn't be appropriate for my mother. My mother has to be a certain way if she's going to... That's silly. But now your daughter seems like, whatever. Mom's in her t-shirt. She's been rushed this morning, getting us 3 out of here. So
and the other funny thing is all the things she had to say about me when she started high school. Most of my t-shirts belong to her, not my name.
Okay.
But, I mean, my Mortal Kombat shirt is hers. She went to Mauritius with her dad and
Yes,
like
yes.
the whole family. And every day that she shared pictures, she was wearing a different shirt of mine. And I'm like, you don't even know this band.
Well.
But she thinks it's cool.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you did touch on you did lose a friend, but not to get too into that. I know you emphasize on living life because it's too short. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I lost in the last 7 years. I lost two very close friends of mine. More recent, I lost somebody who I considered a sister. She was part of my daily life. She was part of my children's lives. She was so constant. She was the type of person who built me up when I was going through my dark times, and what she did for me, I can't ever put into words, and I can't ever give thanks enough for.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to spend Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve with her, and every moment that we had, this was before we knew anything,
Mm-hmm.
and every moment that we had, we lived it, and we made the most of each moment. I have no regrets in that.
Yeah.
And we were still robbed of time together.
Yeah.
So losing her, I think, has taught me that, and just living from the blueprint of her life, is to make every moment count. And her personality was such that, she made everything count. And she was just the epitome of life and living, and, just making time for all those people that you love, and making other people feel loved and seen and heard. And I think just losing her has just, I'm trying to digest what happened. I don't think I'll ever fully recover from that loss, but I want to move forward with my life in her legacy, and just making each moment count, taking the pictures, just living. The hardest thing about loss that I've had to digest is that life moves on, and that is the hardest pill to swallow, because
absolutely,
that absence is so loud, and it's just something that I can't even, like, grief is so cruel, because life moves on, and no matter how much you want that person to be in the next chapter, or the next hour, or the next days that are to come,
to accept that she's not coming back. It's a tough one.
And the only thing that I can do to make her proud is live in that memory, in the memories that we had, and make new memories, because and hopefully that she can see.
Yes, which I'm sure she can. Definitely. So. Grief is a whole other ball game of feelings.
And I think that's the other thing that I'd like to touch on with that subject is, like, I feel so lucky to know that I had my tribe. I have my tribe, and that's why it's so important to have your girlfriends and your mom friends, and to just have, the guys have been doing it for years,
That's it.
After work, or it's boys' nights and stuff. We don't do that.
It's never been a girls' night has now started coming out
because we have to be at home.
Because we've got to be the mothers, the caretakers, the homemakers. But take time and have a girls' night out. Give yourself that time, because, as you say, it's so important.
And if you take time for yourself first, everything else ripples in a positive way.
Absolutely.
So
what I take from this is, though you've lost someone that is...
I lost two of my very close friends.
Oh, wow. And I can't, I could never ever say I've dealt with my, lot of grief, but you can also never say I know what you're feeling, because it's something that also, grief is so weird that you can't actually put it into words. And I know there's this usual saying, and I think we all fall short of that. We're like, no, time will heal. Time actually does not.
No.
In fact, time makes you more conscious of
Yeah.
the fact that their presence is not there.
Yeah.
But I think you can take out of that it lit a spark in you
Yeah.
to live really. Take life by the horns and make the most of it. So, yeah, if anything they've left you with, leave alone the abundance of memories, it's, I think, on your days that you're down, you could always look at that like, you know what, I'm here and you're doing it for them, doing this for women, you know, in general. And you just, we push through. I think that's it with us, the female species. We push through everything and we just keep going. But yeah, it's, man, just we really sorry about that, and it's such is life. Hey, whether we understand it in this lifetime, the whole life and death, we don't know. But yeah, and the big guy upstairs, as I say, he understands it. But yeah, on to you being in. So you're 40.
42.
42. Okay. But I mean, you know, in my defense, you don't even look 40. So, you know, you trust me, you do not. Own it. You're stunning. Coming into your 40s, you know, we have to dive into this, right? How did it feel for you? Because we all told about the fabulous 40s. I mean, I was very excited to get into the fabulous 40s. But how has it been for you with, there's a lot of things that hit in your 40s.
Oh my goodness. This morning as I was getting ready for this, I counted. I have like about 4 or 5 gray hairs, and last year I had none. So I'm like
lucky you.
Where are these coming from? I'm gonna have to be doing my roots more often.
It's so, like that's one of the realities. Like, oh, bugger, now there's
So there's definitely things happening. With my body as well, and you can work out exactly the same way that you worked out in your 20s and see completely different results.
Absolutely.
So as I said, it's like your 40s are all about not putting pressure on yourself.
Oh yeah.
Love yourself where you are.
Yes.
That is. Yeah.
I think the ultimate. I think we kind of remember ourselves in our 20s. Remember post babies and whatever. We won't. Reality is we're not going to get those bodies back.
And it's okay.
And it's okay because these bodies have carried and manufactured babies. The stars, the stripes, the whatever, own it, you know. Yes, we want to be healthy. We've got to, you know, try and be fit in our 40s to set us up for our 50s and 60s and whatever you. But place the realistic goals. I mean, I say, you know, in your 40s, you can sniff a chocolate and you
absolutely you get it. Yeah.
That's it.
And I think that's also the other thing. It's like, it's a personal preference, but I have chosen not to like dabble into the world of like injectables and everything.
Same here.
Because I want to look like my daughter's mom.
Absolutely.
I want a face that when I'm 50 or 60, I want to look in the mirror and I want to be like that line. You know, that's all. That's that's Zena. That's Ara.
Absolutely, you know? and you know, all respect to those that want to. But I've always voiced my opinion about this. Number one, I just can't handle injections at all. If I see a needle, it's just remember. But I'm like, even when I put on a bit of makeup, because yes, I have gone into full adult acne in my 40s. That's what came with my 40s. Yet I never had it as a teenager. So now all of a sudden it's like, gosh, you've got to put on concealer. You've got to touch this up and that. But I'm like, I don't want it perfect because this is not perfect. I'm in my 40s. And this mark tells a story. That is like, yes, the pimple I tried to squeeze out there, that tells a story. This wrinkle tells a story. Maybe you were sitting up with your child who was ill, you know. I don't want to mask that.
I might change my mind.
I mean, we never know. Maybe we'll get into our 50s and go like, you know what? I would like some filler in my lips, or I would like a bit of Botox here and there. That's it. We never know. And maybe I might get over my fear of needles and maybe just try it.
I've tinted my lips before.
How was that?
It was fine. I'm not so scared of needles.
Oh, okay.
But I was actually supposed to go back to do she neutralized it, and this was like a year ago. And I was supposed to go back 2 weeks later to put
Like
the color
yeah.
on, and
And you didn't.
I didn't because I didn't have the time.
Oh,
So that's the
it.
other thing. It's like I don't have the
is-
time
yeah.
to, and I know I prioritize myself in terms of taking care of myself mentally, but I don't have the time to be that girly girl, you know?
Yeah. No, I absolutely get you. I mean, I can go sit down and get a tattoo, mind you, but I don't like a needle. How weird is that? But I think we have to prioritize ourselves to a certain degree. But I with life, with kids, with a home, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. Before we conclude, please just give us more about your travel blogging, because I was so intrigued. I know I watched your one on when you visited Zanzibar. It looked so beautiful.
Amazing.
Oh, it looks like you were just having a time of your
That
life.
was amazing. I was.
And I'm sure there's many women out there that were like, could
That
we
was
just like pick ourselves and go into the
amazing.
screen
That
right
was-
now?
That was definitely a career highlight.
Yes.
So, how long ago was this? 3 years ago.
Right.
3 years ago, I decided that I want to shift my focus from my lifestyle, and also the kids are getting older, so they don't always want to be in my videos.
Yeah.
So I also want to focus it on me a little bit more, because, as I said, I'm coming back to myself, because the kids are growing, they're going to leave.
Yes.
I'm going to be left with me. I'm going to have
Of
nobody
course.
to
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah.
So I wanted to focus mainly on travel. Specifically, I started off just in KZN because I love the Midlands.
Yes.
The Midlands, I can go to the Midlands every weekend, and like when you told me that you're up the hill in Hillcrest, it's like I'm so jealous because that's like the closest thing to the Midlands.
Yes.
I can go to the Midlands every weekend, and I started there. The first place that I actually got invited to, it was a influencer stay at Granny Mouse.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
That set the bar quite high, and I started there, and it was so magnificent, and that's what put the spark, the idea, and set the wheels in motion. Yes. And then I started reaching out to brands, and then gradually I started getting invited to different places to review, do a vlog and stuff, and I've been so blessed. I think I've done close on to 50 reviews at the moment. So it's been really special. I've been to the most amazing places. If I don't know if I have time, but I just want to share this spot with you. Mokongo Hills in KZN. It's actually going to be close to where the new Club Med is coming up.
Okay.
It is the most magnificent place on
Mokongo Hills.
Yes.
Right.
It is about a 6-hour drive.
I'm going to be Googling this after this episode.
I will send you all the details.
Yes.
I've been there twice already. It is this little lodge on the top of a hill overlooking Zulu battlefields. It's Pongolo side, that's it.
Right.
And it's unfenced, so don't take your 4-year-old.
Okay.
It's just, for me, on my healing journey, it's the epitome of peace. Oh. So you literally wake up and there's, well, if you're lucky, there's giraffe outside your room.
Beautiful.
It's completely, as I said, unfenced. There's a cheetah that calls those lawns her home.
Okay.
So if you're really lucky,
you'll see
her.
that, right?
We've seen lion there. It's just the most.
So is it like a little hidden gem up in there?
It's not little. It's actually it's bigger than most game reserves. I don't want to say it on camera, but it's like it's a huge property. But it's just the staff and the way that the service delivery there, it's like nothing I've experienced. You're getting that luxury, but you're also getting that authentic bush experience. I can't explain that to you. You have to experience it.
Like at the best of both worlds, basically.
Literally just sitting on the top of that hill there and looking out. It's just, it's the most magnificent place that I've ever been to. Locally, I mean, within KZN, it's just, it is far, because once you get to that gate, it's like a 45-minute drive up the hill. But you're literally going up to the peak. Okay. And it's the most, it's just, put it on your to-do list. And then I've done other places like the 12 Apostles. Okay. In Cape Town, I love Cape Town. I haven't been since. Zanzibar was really amazing.
That was just beautiful.
Zanzibar, again, in part of my evolution of me,
Yeah.
I would never ever say that I would want to swim with turtles. I am terrified of everything. I'm terrified of everything.
Yes,
Everything.
yes.
But as you grow, and I think that's what my 40s are teaching me, is
You push yourself.
you push yourself.
And,
I mean, I have some behind the scenes videos of those turtles where I was screaming my head off. And the day before I went to feed the turtles, I met up with a family who had bites, like from their thighs down, like big,
okay.
blue, purple, big
Right,
bites,
right.
like big, like.
So
big.
that must have put your head
I
into
was-
like, yeah, okay.
If you're going to swim with turtles, my tip is just always have your eyes on them. Don't make sure that they're not
just
behind
take a
you.
little nibble off you.
Yeah, so that was the Zanzibar
Yeah.
trip was absolutely amazing. I was jumping off boats into the ocean, and like I'm terrified of undersea life.
Yeah.
I snorkeled. I did. It was a bucket list trip for me. I did the things that I didn't even have on my bucket list.
Wow.
So yeah, that was amazing. I've seen a lot of the Midlands, the Bug. What else have I? I've also been to a few places in Johannesburg.
Okay.
I have a ton of places on my list
Yeah.
for this year. The problem is I don't have the time.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going off to a travel blog after
There we
this.
go. Oh,
So-
but how amazing. See, so if we don't have travel bloggers like you, we wouldn't know about all these beautiful places.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing is
Yeah.
I try to look for the places that, there's certain places that, just always pop up on your feed, and it's like they don't need the marketing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
there's certain places that they don't know, either they don't know how to market themselves, or they're so happy with what they have that like when they don't feel the need
Yeah,
to
to
put themselves
actually
out
put it.
there.
Yeah. I
But
get
yeah,
that.
that was just that was just very special, and the places that I mentioned were very personal to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Beautiful. But thank you for that little bit of insight because I want more information on some of these places. So yeah, quickly, what would you tell your 20-something self if you had to go back, right? About the journey of being in your 20s and 30s and then now this invigorating, uplifting 40s. If you could go back in time and whisper a little something to yourself in your 20s, what would it be?
Appreciate your body.
Oh, yeah, I think we'd all say that.
Stop wearing oversized clothes.
Yeah.
All my friends pick on me for that because where I am right now. Like dress your size.
Yes.
And just do the things that you love. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say. Do things for yourself. Live for yourself. People are gonna judge you anyway, and time's gonna pass either way. So make the memories, make the moments count, and the people around you, love them deeply and tell them how much you love them all the time.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Riona, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been, I feel like we could just go on and on with conversation. Thank you so much. This has been amazing, just getting to pick your brain and have you in the hot seat. And we know how busy your life is. And I mean, of course, you're off to a weekend away now. And to have made the time for us and in your beautiful home, we're so appreciative of it. So thank you, a million times over.
Thank you.
Guys, that's it for this episode of TBHF. To the next one.